All right, blue-black control. We had played this when memory lapse was legal, and it felt very, very good. I am interested to see how it feels post-memory lapse. So I replaced our copies of Memory Lapse with some Syncopates and some main deck Mystical Disputes. If you haven't seen this deck, it's just, you know, kill and answer all the things. Shark Typhoon for card advantage / win condition. Narset to make people big sad, etc. So let's jump on into some games and see how this goes. Yeah, I don't really intend to play paper card game tournaments for any games, Zentoth. I am interested in playing some digital Pokemon when there are new digital client releases, but I don't envision doing paper anything. Yeah, using the social aspect is definitely a great shout for paper card games, Izzy. And if you're someone that enjoys paper card games as a social outlet, they're a good source for that. I personally, this is my in-person social outlet. Blurrily focused behind me, not the pile of fursuits on the floor. The fursuits are for Twitch chat. The fursuits aren't a social outlet, but the board games are a social outlet. Why not both, Jeff? Listen, chat, we don't judge if fursuits are your social outlet. You do you. Just make sure everybody's vaccinated, okay? I won't judge. I desperately need to clean my office. There's like fursuits and boxes from equipment that I've purchased recently and all sorts of stuff. Nah, I usually prefer games that are like sub an hour to get a full playthrough in. Yeah, Haunting at House on the Hill is a classic. Haunting at House on the Hill is the closest thing to a co-op game that I enjoy, because it's like a co-op game that ends up not being co-op at the end. Betrayal's real good. I had to wait 70 seconds to find a match, chat. Dead game. Thanks for the 10 months, Redcap. Yeah, we've got Fatal Push and Expertise with their creature deck. We've got Narset and Thoughtseize with their control deck. I am not familiar with Little Nightmares. Ah! This deck. Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? It's been a while since I've been neoformed, yeah. Quickly topped. They found a green source? Question mark. We could theoretically lose the game next turn. What are the odds there's basic lands in their deck, chat? Okay, well now I gotta hold up Mystic Dispute. Oh, that's a good shout from chat. We could hold the field to fatal push their haste wall and then untap an expertise to clear the board. That's actually a really good line. I'm into it. Hey, congrats, Dr. Jezin. This can fork my spells too, right? Win condition engaged. So I think if they do the iteration here, I counter it. Draw. They can fork this? No, I'll Mystic Dispute them. The fact that they shocked themselves and took a turn off the clock was real good for us. They had a combo piece. I discarded it. We thought Thoughtseize on one and took a Seagate Oracle. Sure, but like the Neoform wouldn't have done anything at this point, right?
My prowess is on meditate and prepare.
They have main deck negates, so like we could theoretically die here. Reckless Impulse is the 2-mana light up the stage, right? It's probably just worse than light up the stage a lot of the time. I have to imagine.
This is overwhelming.
This card's like really good in this matchup, huh? Like really, really good? Because it's just like a counterspell that sits in play. Extra discard spells, some counter spells. I don't think this is a go blank matchup. Yeah, the backside makes their counter spells bad too, which is great. Yeah, that's true. The fact that they have to sit on one of their counter spells for a little bit could make it good. I dispute the crap out of an expressive iteration here. Nailed it. This card's gonna draw dead relatively quick, so I'm gonna get my 1-for-1 in with it now. This exchange is great for us. No joke. Take this Den of the Bugbear out back and drown into the Loch here, and then cycle a Fetid Pools. If we considered cutting the Hermit and some other good cards and destroying the mana base to play some Nicol Bolas. You know, I thought about it, and then I decided I wanted to win some more matches today. I think they must have a red elemental blast sitting on their keyboard in front of them, and they're trying to figure out how they can get it into their computer screen to counter my Drown in the Loch. Don't be silly, Jeff. It's actually a Pyroblast. Fair. Holy crap, that is a juke. Wow. That's a huge punish for not, that is a solid post-board juke. Okay, we'll bring in some more removal for the third game. We're not dead yet, but... it won't be long now. We are certainly in danger. Okay, so I have 2 copies of Flunk in my deck right now. So if we find a Flunk, we can kill this ambusher. I am a god. This Twitch stream is pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. Thanks for being here today. Think we just spend our mana here?
I know 88 ways to keep an open mind.
Okay, play your Nightback Ambusher. Have fun. Enjoy. Wow! They didn't attack my Narset. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him here.
I have practiced against many foes like you. I have just the trick.
Wow, that's a beating. Yes, they were Neoform game 1 that boarded into Nightback Ambushers.
With thoughtfulness before action.
I am planning to cast the second Shark Typhoon. It's just not correct to do it this turn. So don't calm down. It's coming. You just need to wait a minute, okay? So it's possible they combo me next turn, right? So I think I let this happen. And then we can just take our 4/4 shark back inside of combat next turn after we know they're not comboing us, right? I think is the game plan here. I think I gotta stop that one. They could not take Geist. It says 2 CMC. That is correct. Your move, Yuki boy. And this is why Shark Typhoon is just such an absurd card in these control decks. Because, like, you get into spots like these where, like, they had a threat I wasn't really prepared for in the post-board game, but it just doesn't matter because I can just, like, kill them, right? Because my threat's so powerful. You got me. Opponent punted. They played this in response to their own trigger here, which meant that they didn't get a wolf for the turn. Doesn't really matter, but worth pointing out. Yeah, they should let their trigger resolve and then play their card. Solid, decisive victory. Blue-black, no fun, chat. You have to remember that in a game like Magic the Gathering, fun is zero-sum. So if your opponent is having no fun, therefore you must be having all of it. Hey, Eccles. Thanks for the brand new Prime. There's a ton of great people here on Twitch. You can send that to every single month. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me employed.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Sodium's not good for your blood pressure, chat. It's not. Just don't. Just don't do it. Eat a longer salt video that lasts the entire duration of the soap. Big brain. Listen, chat, they're trying to turn 3 and turn 4 people with Neoform combo. They got what was coming to them, okay? Don't feel sympathy for the Neoform combo player. We have mistakenly ended up in the top 100. I apologize to everybody who I have disappointed. Not infinite, but sufficiently large enough finite. There's a screenshot in the subs Discord. We were ranked 69 earlier today. For those that need that in their life. Solid Thoughtseize here. Fuck discard spells, shit. Every time, without fail, 100% of the time. Wow, they drew Faithless Looting. I think we dispute this, right? Oh, I should have let them surveil first. Ah! Oh, wait, did they? I don't care. I don't care. Think we just want a bunch of cards that play to the board here. Cling is good. Trim the discard spells. 7 bunch of sweepers and some graveyard hate. Actually, don't have that much graveyard hate in this build, which could be a mistake. Yeah, Gust is probably fine. Commits a little slow. Witch Adventure is just good against a lot of different creature decks. Shamans, merfolk, elves, humans. There's a lot of tribal and historic at the moment. Watching the person on stream suffer through no fault of their own is the reason a majority of people watch Magic the Gathering streams. They want to know that there are other people out there that are being injured by the client just like they are. It's a shared experience through suffering. It's called group therapy, Jeff. Yep, basically. Now, chat. The reason I get upset at your bad card suggestions isn't because you're dumb. I get upset at your bad card suggestions because I know you're actually really smart and you could do better if you actually tried. Thanks for the 25 months, Pengu Power. I appreciate it. Think big disappointed Dan energy. Sonny! Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I want to draw 2 cards. As a number 1 card, I would like added to Historic. I don't really have a number 1 anymore. I'd low-key would like Vendilion Click added to the format because I like casting Vendilion Click, but I also think the format's not well balanced around blue cards at the moment. So I think like Archmage's Charm I think is one of the best cards in this format at the moment, and I think adding Vendilion Click on top of this would probably be a mistake. Yeah, actually that. Let's say Pyroblast. I'd like a card to balance out blue feeling too strong, and Pyroblast would do that really well. Let's say Pyroblast is my answer. Red Elemental Blast, because Pyroblast has awkward targeting. Red Elemental Blast. I don't really have a strong preference in terms of resource variance or not resource variance. Like, I think Magic does a really good job of taking resource variance and turning it into a deck building strength. My strongest preference when it comes to card game things actually has to do with sideboarding and best of 3. And most other card games don't do sideboarding and best of 3 like Magic does. It's definitely a big part of what keeps me enjoying Magic more than a lot of other games. I think deck building is the most interesting part of most card games, and sideboarding is like a deck building exercise in the middle of playing your game. Really need another Cling to Dust, right? Wow, their last card was Ox of Agnos. That's such a good hit for us. Yeah, but I mean, like, there being hands where there's nothing you can really do, that's not exclusive to resource variants, right? Like, games like Runeterra and Hearthstone also have games where you just kind of get curved out on. And there's not a whole lot you can do. So you're right that resource variants can create games like that, but those aren't exclusive to resource variants. Also, having resource variants in your game can look a lot of different ways too, right? Like Pokemon TCG, for example, has resources as cards in the deck similar to Magic, but their game has a lot of core designs that make it so it reduces variance from those types of things. Lots of tutor, search, draw type effects. Apologies if I'm a little clingy. I can't help myself. Cling to Dust is so good shit. Such a powerful effect. And another one clings to dust. And another one clings. And another one clings. Another one clings to dust. Hey, we're gonna cling you to. Another one clings to dust. Doot, doot, doot. Be-do-be-be-do-do.
Meditate and prepare.
Yeah, I've played a bunch of Mythgard. I think Mythgard does a pretty good job at being a game where you could use cards as resources. There's 6 cards in their bin, so this Drown is live. Really just like looking for a Shark Typhoon at this point, I think. I mean, our deck doesn't have that many threats, to be fair. Speaking of threat density, opponent is down to 20 cards in deck, so we might just run them out of threats here, no joke. Like they're through 3 Phoenixes at this point. And like I've got a bunch of removal spells in my hand, right? $17 cards in deck. Pull myself down slightly so you can see that at home. 16 cards. It doesn't matter if I block their Narset a little bit, right? Are we winning on the back of Shark? No, we're actually winning by removing our opponent's will to continue playing Magic the Gathering. Listen, chat. Listen, chat, I haven't played against much Narset, okay? I was adjusting my overlay. Weeping Sage, thanks for the follow if you're still here. Sorry, I missed that one. Smoldering Egg, sure. could lose this game. No, I'm not gonna scry it upkeep. I'm gonna wait until my opponent's turn to cycle that, because there's an Narset in play. Only a complete and total idiot would cycle a card while there's an Narset on the opponent's side. 13 cards left in deck. 12 cards left in deck. Eight cards left in deck. Seven cards left in deck. Well, I mean... like, Charm is bad for us regardless, so... Wait, what? 4 cards left in deck. Okay.
Past, present, and future hone your prowess.
We need a hideous laughter to speed up the mill game plan, right? Oh, this is target player draws 2 cards. Chat, how could I forget it's target player draws 2 cards? Oh, man. What a punt. Oh, there's Narset. Fair. Wolfwood, thank you for the 35 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it.
I have just the trick for this.
Goodbye, friends. Oh yeah, I should have cast the Cling while we had Darcy. That's a good call. What a funny game. What a funny game. The first deck we plan on brewing when the new set drops. You can see decks that the community has submitted that we'll be building on stream tomorrow morning. I'll probably think of and add some things myself into there at some point, but we're going to be starting with viewer submissions to begin. I mean, it's kind of hard to be hyped for things that are months away. Like, it's supposed to be February at the earliest. Oh, you know what? I should have played a black land, right? I should have untapped black land to hold up Cling here. I'm going to get Phoenixed and die now. That was so sloppy. That's sad. That first game was really good, and I just died because I'm doing two things at once here. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at an email here real quick, and I shouldn't have been doing it while we were in the middle of a game. All right, I'm sorry about that. Obscene Sanity, thanks for the 42 months. Welcome back. Yeah, it would actually been in a really good spot thinking if I'd have shocked in the Black Source Strikes, we would have exiled the Phoenix, then had Archmage's Charm up, and they would have spun a lot of their tires already. If they're a creature deck, this hand's very bad, but if they're a mid-range or a control deck, the hand is very good. Maybe this can break up their curve. Looks like black aggro. Not too aggressive. Florida State Senate is looking to remove the state from OSHA entirely to avoid, this is like a draw, to avoid having to deal with the vaccine requirements. Yikes. And all other workplace regulations. Making your workplaces dangerous and unsafe to own the libs, chat. For people that don't keep up on U.S. political news, the Biden administration announced a rule that would be enforced via OSHA, which is occupational safety something or other and health standards for workplaces, that starting January 4th, employees of companies that are 100 employees or more would required to be vaccinated or test weekly. So it's technically not even a vaccine mandate. It is you're doing the bare minimum in some way to try and not spread COVID. There's a lot of people that have been referring to it as a vaccine mandate. It's actually not even that. It is also currently tied up in courts, but like it wasn't supposed to take effect till January 4th anyways, so it should be through the courts by then. I think I'd rather draw a card than gain life here. Oh, you know what? I should have played a third black source so we could fatal push this. Dead. Oh, they missed lethal, chat. We're still just dead, but they could have sacrificed the Faceless Haven to kill me. I like how every time we talk about vaccines on the channel, we lose approximately 5 to 10% of our viewers. And honestly, I hope the viewers that we lost when we talked about that can fuck off into the sun. They're not going to be a productive member of the community regardless. Doomblade. Is it crazy to board in Doomblades to kill Faceless Havens? I feel like it's not. Flunk definitely comes in here. It's an all Doomblades on deck matchup. I'm going to bring in this to kill Faceless Havens, chat. It's going to be great. Okay, this is fine. I think we bought him a Narset here and just keep the 3 removal spells. I don't follow non-esports, but I did hear something about a football player getting COVID because they faked a vaccine card or something. I don't actually know the details. I just heard there was a sports ball person that was dumb and couldn't play because they were dumb. I don't know exactly what the why was. Joke's on you, opponent. All my cards do the same thing anyways. He pulled a technically I didn't say vaccinated. Cool. You can check out decks that we're going to be building tomorrow during the deck building segment on stream that are in the stream queue now. I would like to end your legion, please. Thanks for the 3 months in advance, Spiridu. I appreciate the support. The set is live on Thursday. So Thursday, I'll be going live a little bit late because the set releases about 10 a.m. Central. I think Rider's fine to leave in their deck. It's a removal spell that's like also a threat. Shadan, thanks for dropping off the Prime again. Welcome back. No, I actually don't think Heroic Downfall is going to be that amazing. I talked about it in the set review, but Heroic Downfall is going to compete. It's going to very much compete with. Okay, so I think we flunk this, and then in response to this trigger, we can take Sorin out back and drown him in the Loch. And now the Murderous Rider goes to the bottom. Nailed it. Don't you just feel smart, chat? This deck's like actually kind of okay in terms of power level, but like you don't play this deck because it's powerful. You play this deck because your brain feels fucking huge when you get to do things like that. You're just like, I am so smart! Just the bigliest of brains, chat. Hey, Corvmex, thank you for the almost 3.5 years. Welcome back.
The focus and the thoughtfulness before action.
All of the Shark Typhoons belong to me. My brain it's so wrinkly. Yes, the COVID vaccine is available 100% entirely for free nationwide. Now, that being said, as someone who tries to be acutely aware of his economic and social privilege, just because you can get the COVID vaccine for free does not mean that you can get time off work to go get the shot, and does not mean that you have PTO to use should you need 24 hours off because you feel sick after getting the shot. So it is important to acknowledge that just because the vaccine is free to go get stuck in your arm doesn't mean everybody is in a socioeconomic position to be able to go get it and deal with what could be, a day or two off afterwards. I had to take 2 days off of streaming, I think, after I got mine, if I recall correctly. Like I was knocked out for the not the immediate day after, but the second day after. I felt like I had like a stomach flu, and then it was gone after like less than 24 hours, but. My wife and I both got Pfizer because we assumed that it would be the first one approved for kids, and it was, because when the United States fully devolves into Mad Max houses, they're going to divide us up by which vaccine we got. So we wanted to make sure the whole family got put in the same Mad Max house. Thanks for the follow, TZQ. I think they were both available at the county clinic Christy and I went to, and we chose arbitrarily, is the actual answer to your question. Help, help, I'm under duress. We'll probably just get the booster for the same one. It doesn't seem like there's any availability issues. The county in Illinois that we're in doesn't have online signups for kids shots, and every time Christy has called, she's just gotten an endless busy signal. So I suppose that it's a good thing that there's lots of people in my area getting their kids poked, but we have not been able to get ours appointments yet because Boomer's gonna boom. They had online signups for adult stuff, so it's really annoying that they don't have them available for kids. Not anything we can do about it. I guess we ditch these and just play into expertise next turn. The fact that this means my Azcanta is forever away from working is kind of sucky, though. So I've got Field of Rune for their creature land. So I think I can safely bin this to get us to flipping Azcanta sooner.
Wish you had a fraction of my power. I really don't care about your plans.
And then let's cycle this because we get a land. This also lets me guaranteed flip the search next turn. So her plus does do 3 damage to us when we can't discard a card, which is big sad. I actually don't have a great answer to this in my deck right now. If this down ticks and puts a vampire into play, yeah, yikes.
Welcome to the family.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
Library transform. I actually need to attack Liliana this turn, so I have to keep this in hand and cycle it. I think the new Sorin looks great, for reference. Sad that we lost that. So they get to pump up the Aetherborn and crack us for 3. Wait, really need a live one here.
This is but a taste of my power.
Sorry, like we draw Fatal Push, and then we Azcanta into another Fatal Push, and maybe end up in an okay spot. Maybe. Ooh, that's a really good one.
You're more powerful than I thought.
It's -3, so if they want to kill this shark, yeah. So I can grab the knight and I can pump the knight. Yeah, we trade 2 for 1, nice and clean. Yeah, like I said a couple of times this stream, I think Charm is one of the best spells in Historic. I think this deck and the deck before it, the thing both these decks are doing is playing copies of that. We have 10 cards in our bin, so we're going to be able to gain 3 with this in a pinch here too.
My sunlight flows through you.
Come on, attack! I mean, the decks that played Charm also played Memory Lapse, Darth. It wasn't that Lapse dumpstered it, it's that, like, Lapse was played alongside it. You just did both. Oh, you know what? I should have,
I was bored anyway.
There are so many.
Could have done this
meditate
first.
And prepare.
Actually, I could have attacked Sorin. Dr. Pavid, thank you for the half year. I really appreciate the support. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for the follow, King of the Nanners. I assume they're just going for my face here, right?
What is one life to save many?
Keep an open mind.
And I'm just gonna do this now before I, like, get into trouble. Curse Tag, thank you for the 5 sub gifts. It's very generous of you. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, good morning. Cling is just so flexible. Super powerful and flexible. And remember, chat, to our newest members, the gift of speech that Teg giveth, the gift of speech they can take away. So behave. Hey, Vordal, thanks for the 22 months. Thanks for the tier 3. Yeah, I think we've firmly entered garbage time at this point. I could flash this back again. We've got Azcanta, we've got 2 threats, like... They do look excellent. Hope life's been treating you all right. This is a spot where if we didn't have life gain from Cling, they would have maybe had outs to draw to burn us out, but because of Cling, the game is just firmly out of reach.
The best thing about zombies is their adoring obedience. You think too much.
Just gonna gain life again here. I got plenty of card advantage built up. Yeah, sitting on board with the Azcanta even. Crunch.
This is a wasted opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, escape just keeps going and going and going and going. Pretty good. Whoa. Just added Uro Nightmare. Yes. Yeah, Uro would be a lot less offensive if you could only bring it back once. This This deck seems like it's still pretty real post memory lapse. Syncopate wasn't like anything super impressive that she'd like write home about and be super excited to have, but it like served its purpose of like being a card that counterspells things on turn 2 that also scales okay-ish into the mid to late game. The fact that it exiles things on occasion is decent as well. Yeah, I think so. I think tournament historic is tournament historic is a little bit less healthy than historic on the ladder because all the historic tournaments we've seen have a lot more food than we see on the ladder, but the food variations just aren't super popular for ladder play, and I think the clicking through all of the triggers deters a lot of people from playing it, and there's a ton of variety in historic. I've been having fun playing it. It's been a good filler format, especially for like when we're waiting for new cards to come for standard. So as always, like variety is the spice of life, and I'm really glad we have, you know, multiple constructed formats that can be worth playing on Arena currently. All right, that's going to wrap on Magic for today. If you're someone that enjoys my content and you normally bugger out when we do sponsored stuff, a really easy way to support my content today is to hang out for the Legends of Runeterra segment that we're going to be doing here. It is sponsored by the Twitch Bounty Board. This is called Path. Checking out. They have a new Path of Champions game mode that is basically a single player kind of. It is a single player game mode similar to like Slay the Spire or something like that. Single player card game mode. So if you enjoy that type of thing, feel free to hang out too. Yep, yeah, lurking to check it out is all you got to do. This is I am a Riot works with me on their different things and sends me goodie packages on occasion. So this is actually a little bit early access. Yeah, the mobile client is the same as the desktop client. So if you check this out, you can play this on Runeterra on your cell phone. Just gotta download the patch here real quick. So it'll be Path of Champions will be available for everybody tomorrow. Riot gave me access to it a day in advance here. There'll be other content producers streaming it too. Yeah, I have a good working relationship with companies like Riot. They're good. They're good to work with. Honestly, Riot's been probably one of the best companies I've worked with. Oh no, my update is hung. Oh, is it frozen? Yeah, let me re-kick it here real quick. Yep, I got it linked in. Yeah, this is gonna be the thing that we're trying today is a single player game mode, so you should have plenty of time to explain rules and stuff for people that haven't seen Runeterra before. I don't think League of Legends proper is something I'm very likely to play. I'm not a huge fan of the MOBAs with like the towers and stuff that run down the center. Like we played a little bit of that Arena of Valor, and like the gameplay was fine, but I definitely prefer Pokemon Unite style MOBA gameplay. Let me make sure you don't have the the Runeterra sounds currently either. Runeterra's audio and audio visual design is just tops. Let's make sure. It's a big old world out there, but who cares about that? Let's get to the cool stuff. Agree. Is that Vi? It's time to pay old Fat Hands a visit. Jinx decides that it's time to bury the hatchet with the old nemesis, but in the way of her heroic redemption stands a fluffy bunny, a meddling cop, and Jinx herself.
News on the street is you're out of ideas, kid. You're dried up, emptied out.
Nuh-uh. Like, did you hear about that factory that went ballistic and made those crazy mechs?
Everyone knows about that